Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video, and today we are back with some more Grand Challenge content. As you can see, I am playing Expo Cycle with the Valkyrie in place of the Knight, so I've had a lot of comments recently asking me if Valkyrie is a viable substitution in Expo Cycle as we hop into the first match against V Hanma here, or I don't know what the first character is actually, but yeah, so Valk in place of the Knight had a lot of comments. I get that comment pretty much at least once a video actually. I think some people also asked if I could use it myself, so this is basically 3.1 Expo Cycle. Also looks like we are up against Logbait with skeletons as well. So I'm kind of cycling stuff in the middle. Tombstone, okay, I don't know what this is actually because Tombstone's a bit weird. I'm just going to test on the middle because I really don't know what it is anymore. It's like Logbait with 2 cycle cards and a Tombstone in there. But yeah, I feel like Valkyrie, to answer everyone's question, since I am getting it a lot, also part of the reason why I'm playing it, is definitely viable, although it's honestly just worse, because it's one more elixir than the Knight, so even though it provides a bit more utility, it's just not worth that extra cost, because against any beatdown, or against any cycle matchup, also Flying Machine and Logbait, I don't know what this is, but against any cycle matchup, Valkyrie automatically puts you at a disadvantage in most cycle games. So 2.6 Hog Earthquake, Expo Mirror matches. Valk is just worse because it costs more for pretty much the same function as a Knight. Where Valk shines is against Royal Hogs, Royal Recruits. Definitely Royal Recruits is the biggest one. It's a matchup that I would say is pretty hard for 3.0 normally. And Valkyrie actually flips it completely. I would say it's even Expo's matchup with the Valkyrie in there. And let's just snipe this Flying Machine, and I think I can Expo now because he just committed a lot. He used his Valkyrie's Flying Machine and he went in with a barrel that was easily countered. I think he's in a pretty bad spot right now, as we do actually get a connection. So if he goes like Flying Machine or something, I can actually just fireball it off. If he goes Valk, I'll block with my Valk. And yeah, so just gonna Ice Spirit to pull it away, then Valk. And yeah, that's basically going to be GG already. So yeah, like I was saying, Recruit's definitely the biggest factor for Valkyrie where she shines in. That matchup completely gets turned upside down. I don't think I've ever lost it with Valk, where I usually lose it quite a bit when I have Knight, because she's just so good against the Recruits and the Royal Hogs too. Let's just take the 3 crowns as I think our opponent gave up. But other decks that Valk is good against are Royal Hogs. Also, I'm farming my Mastery right now, so I'm trying to get the 3 crown with only Expo. And get just Expo Tower Tapper as the Mastery task, if you guys are familiar with it, because it's so hard to do, honestly. It's really annoying. But these two should be taking the tower at about the same time, so that's cool. But yeah, Royal Hogs is big as well, so any Royal Hogs decks. Royal Hogs Earthquake has not really been popular anymore, but I still play it sometimes. I believe I actually played it in this GC as well, with the mirror in there. Might show you guys that replay later on if I am able to win this one. But yeah, so any Royal Hogs deck, so even Royal Hogs 3 Musketeers, because Valk is just better than the Knight against the 2 Musketeer side. Also better against like Bridge Spam, so like E-Barbs, Bandit, Royal Ghost, all of that stuff, and Mega Knight 2. And she's also really good against Swarm, so any kind of swarmy decks, especially Skeleton King decks, because Valk is like the be-all, end-all counter for Skeleton King, where even if they use the ability, the Valk Splash just one-shots everything, so she is quite literally the card-for-card exact perfect counter to the Skeleton King. So Valk gives you a lot of options against all those decks, but again, I think it's worse in a lot of cycle matchups, so I think it's probably a wash against Logbait, because if you play really well, there's a special timing. You can fully counter a barrel with just a Valkyrie, so by using that, you can actually save your log on offense or against the Princess, which is really useful. We do see a Barb Barrel Tombstone, so it might be looking like Graveyard right now. So I'll just split my archers. But yeah, also against Golem, I think it's overall a wash, like not much better or worse, because she is useful, but at the same time, Knight can do the trick and you'll have more elixir on your defenses with Knight. And against Lava, I think she's maybe actually a bit worse, because you usually use Knight to support or just tank. You don't really use it for its attacking ability. I'll also just go Valk on the Skelly King here. Unfortunately, I mistimed it, so it's going to take out the Expo, but don't take any damage from the Baby Dragon in the left, so still a decent situation. You're actually going to log here. I think Valk's also better than Knight on offense right here. As you can see, she's actually pretty oppressive. Her first hit is very fast, and if she gets onto the tower, it'll be pretty devastating. So yeah, also against the Graveyard, I feel like, again, it's kind of a wash, because She is more expensive, but also she can counter the graveyard better than Knight can. But I think I'll just Expo because he just used Ice Wiz, and Scaly King isn't in cycle, because if you guys know how champion cycles work, they actually don't come back after you use them after 4 cards. They come back after they die after 3 cards, instead of right when you cycle them. So, but against Splash Yard with Skeleton King, you can definitely abuse that, like I did just now. He didn't have anything in hand, only Tombstone, so I was able to force out a lot, and overall a decent situation for me. But yeah, this matchup should be pretty easy, honestly. I'm also playing with Ice Spirit, not Electro Spirit, because I've just been enjoying Ice Spirit so much in Expo Cycle. And yeah, let's go in again. He does have a Skelly King this time, but I also have a Valkyrie, which will do a great job. I can also just set up a high Tesla, and that's a lot of Fireball value, actually. So, because I committed with the Fireball and Tesla, that's already 8 Elixir. That's way too much to let this Expo, or to have Valk for the Expo, so I definitely have to just let it go. But that's fine, because I can just cycle back to another one. I'll just pull this Bar Barrel a bit with my Skeletons and go in again, and he will not have Skelly King right away. Actually, pretty bad Baby Dragon Graveyard. Actually going to reset this Baby Dragon with an Ice Spirit into a Valk. And as you can see, Valk, perfect job against the Skelly King. I'm not worried at all if he uses ability, because Valk will just shut it down completely. Let's actually just Fireball this as well, getting even more of a connection, and that was great. So I would say pretty aggressive by our opponent. Maybe the Expo is also aggressive by me, but at the same time it worked out super well. So yeah, and then just going to reset with this Tesla. So a lot of people ask how I play against Splash Yard. I usually play pretty aggressively, but if you want to play defensively, you can just use this anti-poison Tesla placement. Not that they're ever going to want to poison your Tesla. Also, Ice Spirit catching Bar Barrel, very important. Overall, just catching, very important. Look at that, Valkyrie just completely shuts down. I'm actually just going to cycle back to my Expo again and go in on the left right here, because Expo's on tower on the right, so he's going to be forced to spread his Elixir thin. And yeah, just too much for him to deal with. Pretty flawless game against Splash Yard. And Valk was actually really good there. So Knight would have been good too, because it's faster cycle, but at the same time, you saw how much work the Valk put in against the ability. So yeah. Let's go right into the next one against Fire B Feist 96. Let's give him the good luck back. And yeah, so far undefeated GC, looking really good. Let's go Ice Spirit, and goes Wall Breakers. So Wall Breakers could be Mega Knight Wall Breakers, could be Goblin Drill Wall Breakers. That's probably the more common one. And I actually think Valk is better against Drill as well. Actually, didn't consider that too, but obviously Valk just splashes everything. Pretty good counter. Also, they have a Skelly King in here. Gonna Expo because that actually won't cross the bridge in time. So yeah, he's forced to go for a bit of an awkward Inferno Tower. I'll just go Archers to snipe. One doesn't attack it, unfortunately, but still I can log the Skelly King as it crosses a bit more. Or I guess I'll just Ice Spirit because he Fireballed, and actually pretty bad Fire Spirit by him. Does not take the Expo's targeting, so I'll just Skellies to make sure it doesn't jump. And Archer gets a hit too, so really good start against Goblin Drill Wall Breakers. I actually don't really like this deck. I think it's like pretty annoying to deal with, because Drill is honestly a very annoying deck in general to deal with, and then also when they add the Wall Breakers and Skelly King, it just gets annoying. But Valkyrie will be a perfect card at shutting down those Skeleton Kings. Any pushes he tries to make, Valk will just shut down. And also against the Drill, really good. I'll just go for an Expo here. Kind of inside. Wow, he actually predicts me. Pretty well played by him. I will still reset with an Ice Spirit though, because I have an advantage, might as well use it. Gonna log the Dark Goblin too. And Valk is putting in work against Skelly King. I think I'll go Skeletons as well. Now it's dead though, but that's fine. Tesla's alive and helping out. I don't think he should use ability here. He does, but yeah, Valk, as you can see, just completely shuts that down. That I even could have gone Archers, honestly. But Valk is probably better at counter pushing, so this will force something out on his side again. And overall, still holding my damage lead. Still pretty good spot for me. Kites it back with Wall Breakers, pretty well played. I'll go Archers here, and okay, wow, Archer actually kind of stopped that Wall Breaker in its tracks. That was pretty cool, and as you can see, Valk gets a hit. That's so good, just so much damage. Also, I'm just resetting with these Teslas in the middle, because if he ever wants to go Wall Breakers, Tesla just preemptively stops that. I'll go for an Expo here, because he just played pretty aggressively with his Fireball and predicting the Inferno with my Skellies. I think he's going to go Inferno now, so going to go Archers to catch, and perfect, we caught it. Let's also go with the Valk. Tesla will deal with the Skelly King, and that Drill is on tower. Not exactly the right play, I would say, by my opponent, because Expo's still alive. He has something more to deal with. I'll actually fireball these wall breakers. Not the fastest reaction time, but still okay. I was able to hit one, getting even more of a connection. Now I'll just defensive Expo because it kind of messes up his cycle. And I'll just Ice Spirit the Skelly army. And yeah, we're doing pretty well. At this point, all we have to focus on is defending. That is... Okay, thankfully Skelly's got down in time. I was worried it would be on my tower. But yeah, all we have to do right now, our game plan is actually just going to be Spell Cycle and defend. Because going in anymore doesn't make sense, since it's same lane, he can just get Fireball value on my Expo plus tower. Plus, I am up so much that it's not even that bad to play defensively. Valk will just do a great job at shutting down the drill. Plus this Skelly King, he might pop ability because my Valk's kind of low on HP, but okay, he just spent a ton of elixir, 2 with the ability, 2 with the Dark Goblin, or 3 with the Dark Goblin. Yeah, I think he doesn't have enough for anything here. Maybe just barely enough for wall breakers, but again, like I was saying about Skelly King and Champion Cycle, they don't have it back very easily. He's laughing, I guess he's a bit upset. That's probably my matchup since I have Valk, not Knight. Still an annoying deck to face in my opinion, but yeah, really nice win against Drill wall breakers. I guess I don't like it that much, but Valk was great, and at the very end just abused the fact that Skelly King wasn't in cycle for a nice win. So into the next match against Aoi Tori. Let's give him the good luck. He gives it back, and let's see what he's going to be running. So goes Baby Dragon. I guess I'll Expo opposite because it could be a beatdown deck, and then it would be a pretty decent Expo. Looks like he actually just lets it lock on. Then goes Bomber plus Lightning. Okay, that was pretty aggressive. I'm going to go Archers plus Valk and kind of separate them as well, because usually this deck probably going to be Golem. Very off chance it might be E-Giant, but yeah, probably Golem with the Skelly King in there. So against that, I didn't want to clump my Valk and Archers together because he has Skelly King. He also probably has Barb Barrel. So if I gave him that value, it just wouldn't have been a great idea. I really doubt he's going to pop ability here, because there's not even much skeletons at all charged up there. Yeah, he doesn't, so I'll just log. I'm going to switch to the right, or the left, rather, with my log cycle, and I guess I'll just reset with a Tesla. Honestly, Tombstone's quite annoying. Like, it's pretty oppressive. It's kind of like a Tesla that doesn't attack, but it just stalls and constantly causes issues. Going to go for an Expo. So against Tombstone, I guess I just like to high Tesla or log it. And this Expo should lock on a tower because Tesla's helping out against the skeletons. And Night Witch comes down in front, though, I guess, to tank for the Expo. I'm actually really totally fine with this. Expo's just helping out against the Golem. Gonna go Valk, Skellies, and Ice Spirit. Ice Spirit to keep the Tesla alive as long as possible by freezing the Golem up. And this Expo is still gonna be a threat, actually. It's still alive, in all honesty. Valk is also helping out against the Golemite, so... actually, I guess it's basically stalled out now. Yeah, unfortunately, it kind of died. I was hoping it would stay alive and get some damage, but gonna Expo now because he, again, played a 4 Elixir Troop in the back, will not have enough. And go Skelly King, so I'll just go Valk. He actually doesn't have enough for Lightning right away. He does it now, but that's totally fine because still has to respond to the Valkyrie. And we are in a damage disadvantage, but again, yeah, forces out a response. Let's just log the Night Witch to make sure it basically gets taken out. And we're going to have to try and get a connection here because you cannot just fully defend against Golem the whole game. You do have to go in, unfortunately. Unless you get a connection in single, then you're golden, but I am not, unfortunately. So, goes Golem. I would say that's quite a bad Golem because it's not going to tank for the Expo at all. Usually all the good Golem players I play against, they do go for Golems in the middle. Skelly King behind as well, not going to be the play. And he might, okay, I was thinking he might Bomber on the Expo. Actually goes with a Lightning instead, which is totally fine. Now I'm just going to go Archers, and that's a lot of Fireball value. I think I'll wait till the Golemite pops, or the Golem pops into Golemites, then go for it. And now let's Expo, because he just spent quite a lot with that push. Might not have enough for a Golem in time, and let's go. He actually didn't, so he also just uses Lightning. No, he didn't actually. Okay, I don't know why I thought he did. I thought he did. If he did, he would have lost just there, but still Expo's on tower, and we are doing really well. That's going to be a huge damage lead for us by over 1,000 HP. At this point, we don't have to go in anymore. We could just defend the whole game. But again, he's going for these weird Golems. I guess that's a bit closer than the last one, so I can't really go in. I really wanted to. but still, just stacking archers same lane as well. Huge tip against any lightning matchup, whether you have Valk or Knight, doesn't really matter. Stack your archers, because if they don't have arrows, lightning isn't a great response. That was a really good defense, so now that we defended, doesn't have golem and cycle, we can go in. Goes for a tombstone. I guess I will Valk for this baby dragon, don't really want to let it connect to tower. Log gets everything, and that's basically going to be GG, because, yeah, he just has a bit of an awkward cycle. And yeah, it was a pretty good sport as well, so just GG to Tori. Pretty nice win against Golem. Usually I would say that Electro Spirit is huge against Golem. Big help against the Night Witch bats especially, but I guess there it didn't really matter too much because we kept him on the defensive end the whole time. Kind of, once double hit. And he also played some pretty questionable Golem placements, I would say. But yeah, we're at 11-0 now. Found the next match right away against Sadra. Was hoping I'd find it kind of soon so I don't have to wait for like 5 minutes. He gives the oops for some reason. But let's see if we can get a flawless 12-0 GC. Goes Tombstone, so I'll just log it, and I think this might be Splash Yard. Or it could be the same Golem deck we just went against, or it could also be Lava Hound. Those are the 3 main Tombstone decks, I'd say. Let's just go Valk into the Mega Minion. Unfortunately, no archers in cycle. So we kind of have to go Valk. Go Skelly Drags. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Lava. I'd be pretty upset if it's Golem, I guess, because I don't enjoy playing against Golem when they have Skelly Drags and usually a bunch of, like, arrows and swarm stuff. Goes Balloon. That's kind of interesting. I'll just Tesla. This is the standard Tesla placement. It's 1 tile down from normal. Gonna Expo as well because he just used his 2 main Expo counters, I'd say, in the form of the Skelly Drags and the Balloon. So he actually doesn't have a great cycler right now, and goes Mega Minion. I'll just go Skeletons. Nice perfect timing on the Skeletons. Gonna go Ice Spirit as well to freeze it. Okay, unfortunately gets taken out, but still a good connection. Gonna go Valk at the bridge because Tombstone shouldn't be in cycle, and yeah, he has to go Skelly Drag, so I'll actually Fireball them as soon as I have enough Elixir. Hopefully get the Valk a bit more HP. Okay, sadly, it didn't really make a difference, so we'll see if we're down Elixir now. So after you spend a lot of Elixir, like I did just now, usually I have like a inherent sense that I'm down Elixir, but we can find exactly how much we're down based on when he plays a card, because I can compare that to my Elixir and find out. So it looks like we're actually not down. Yeah, he goes Lava when I'm at about 2, or 8 rather, 2 away from 10, so I'm down about 2 Elixir. I guess I'll just go in right now. Because I kind of want to force out his Balloon on the Expo. I usually like to go same lane, but we already have a huge damage lead in the left. So let's just go Tesla, pull everything in, then Ice Spirit to freeze it up, and then Archers. Notice I'm separating my Archers from my Tesla as well, so that he can't get a Fireball on everything. Gets a good Fireball on the Archers, but now I just get a really nice Fireball of my own. Valk to tank for this kind of spammy support push. And that's going to be actually a pretty flawless defense, I'd say. Considering we went Expo and he ignored it, we were basically down 6 Elixir, we still defended. So that was really good. Now, like I said earlier, I was at about 5.5 when he went Lava, so I'm down at least 4 Elixir, if not more. So obviously I'm not going to go in anyways because right away because I was down. But now I'm going to go Expo because I want to force out his Balloon once again. So I talked about this in another video, I'm sure. Also, right there, the Balloon goes in front of the Expo. That's why Expo into a Hound is pretty good usually, especially if they like to go in. But I talked about it before. At some point, I'm sure, instead of going Expo right away, you can go Tesla preemptively to set it up, then Expo with it, and that's what I did just now. Worked out very well. I'll give him the good game, well played, and good luck, because he was also a good sport. And yeah, that's just going to be a really nice win against Lava, and a flawless 12-0 GC with Expo. 3.1 cycle with the Valkyrie instead of the Knight. So for everyone who was asking for this, hope you guys enjoyed. Pretty nice feeling actually to get a flawless 12-win GC. And yeah, 2 really nice wins at the very end against Lava and against Golem. So yeah, pretty happy with that, honestly. We also had some other nice matches. Don't know what that log bait deck was all about, honestly. That was strange. But I also had these other great matches. I went against Recruits, which was really good over there. And I also went against Royal Hog. So that's going to be my 4th 12-win GC in a row, actually, as you can see by my log right here. The last one was with Bomber Bow, and the other 2 were with 3.0, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, really nice GC win streak. Let's go ahead and open up the chest here. not expecting too much. I don't really get legendaries or champions from these chests that much. Yeah, unfortunately no legendary, but still, for only 100 gems, all those cards and 22k gold is amazing. Like I said, I had a bunch of Earthquake matchups here. I had this game against Royal Hogs. Mirror, I guess I'll show it to you guys because it's one of the decks that I said Valkyrie was pretty good against, any Royal Hog deck, and it definitely is. Especially if he has the Mirror in here, it would usually be considered an ultra hard counter to Expo. But since I did have the Valk, I would say it was a huge help. So I'll just try and commentate over this game, I guess, and show you guys how I was thinking about it. So I go Expo to find out what he has. He goes for the Royal Hog, so I go Valk to take them out, and he does get Earthquake on my Expo plus Tower, but Valk will still actually force a response, forces out the Cannon. Cannon is actually such an underrated card in my opinion. Like, it gets so much value for only 3 elixir. Probably better than Tesla right now. Maybe the best defensive building in the game, or tied with Tombstone. But yeah, that's just a bit of a tangent, I guess. He defends pretty well. He gives the Yawn for some reason, even though he has Royal Hog's Earthquake against Expo. He even has the Mirror in there. And I think he gave good game here because I went GT emote, which is pretty funny. Sometimes I do that, and then people just spam WoW and yeah, like white flag. But still, I go in here, I go in on the side because I want it to actually help against the Queen. So Valk as well to take out the Royal Hogs, and Earthquake gets forced out. So this is a super good tech that you can use against Queen. Notice how I went with Ice Spirit plus Skeletons. Plus this Valk is going to get damage now, so that's huge for me. And basically, whenever they go Queen, I like to go in. Valk gets a hit there that puts me in the damage lead. Very useful. And yeah, the Ice Spirit Skeletons, if you do it super fast before they use the ability, Ice Spirit Freeze lasts so long now that Skeletons plus Tower can actually take out the Queen before they even have the chance to use the ability. So really great +3 elixir trade there if you want to ever try it out. I love to do that play. I saw someone else do it and I was like, oh my god, I have to do that myself. So yeah, I split archers. He goes with Royal Hogs. Unfortunate that I went for an Expo at the same time, but I obviously have to just let this die. Notice how I'm waiting for the Earthquake to finish kind of quaking out before I go for my Skeletons. I gave the oops because I kind of went Expo into Royal Hogs. We did go at the same time though. I didn't do that immediately. I didn't do that reactively, and I do miss a Fireball on the Queen, so that was really bad by me. Should have just reacted faster. But here, just anti-Earthquake Tesla placement. Also, right there, you saw with the Valkyrie, the Valk hit the Skeleton, I believe it was. Mirrored Royal Hogs come in. I'll just Fireball log them because you kind of have to. They're pretty annoying. But yeah, Valk, even if a Queen's invisible, I forgot to mention this in the intro, it'll still attack the Queen, even if it's invisible, if it's hitting something else too. So that's a huge application of Valk, I would say. Really useful there. But yeah, he's just going with Queens. I'm still in the damage lead right now. And again, Tesla, I actually don't mind if he Earthquakes this, because I would love to go in with an Expo and he doesn't have Earthquake. Little did I know that he was also going to Mirror, but still, I just Ice Spirit Freeze the Queen. Log and Archers, pretty unorthodox defense, but I think I defended it pretty well as I could have given the situation. And now I go in the left, so and he goes Royal Hogs, but Valk, I'm ready with it, plus the Ice Spirit. So yeah, that's going to be a connection actually, and he's forced to go with the Mirrored Quake, I believe. Actually, he doesn't. He goes Delivery instead. But I get a ton of damage, and yeah, so the reason I went on the left there was because I wanted him to Earthquake my healthier tower, which is my left tower, not my right tower. So you never really want to go same lane in this matchup, I would say, which is why you'll see myself and a lot of others just constantly switching lanes against it. Here I go in once again, and then Prediction Valk for the Royal Hogs. Even if he doesn't go Royal Hogs, there's no downside, because it'll help out against the Cannon as well. And right here, Prediction Earthquake, or Mirrored Earthquake rather, is forced out, but still, Valk is so good on offense. He's forced to play kind of an awkward Cannon. Now I'm in the damage lead, and I'm just doing some pretty smart offense right now, going in at the right time, and also deciding not to just spam Expos. I'm also going Teslas defensively. Now I go in on the right again, so notice how I switched lanes once more, because my right side is healthier this time, not my left, so I can afford to do that. And he has to Mirror the Earthquake, which does a lot of damage in all honesty, but it's still pretty decent for me, I'd say. Right there, I went for Archers up high, not for the Royal Hogs, but actually to try and snipe the Archer Queen. He does go for Royal Hogs to protect, but I still do get my defense down, and Queen isn't really causing any threats at all. Now I literally just Fireball cycle, because I can defend, and now this is where he has so many Royal Hogs, but look at the Valk, putting in a ton of work there, just amazing. I don't think I could have done that with a Knight at all. I actually probably would have lost this match if I had Knight, honestly. So huge help with the Valkyrie there. He does not even have Earthquake and Cycle. Right here goes for the level 13 Royal Hogs, but I just go Valk, Ice Spirit. I just Fireball for good measures, because why not? I don't need to Fireball Tower. He's down so much HP, I can kind of just afford to do that. I give the Global Tourney emote because that was definitely a hard counter. Or maybe not with the Valk, I don't know. But Valk was so good there, and that is, I guess, the main use case against Royal Hogs, against hard counters like those, and against recruits. I would say Valk is huge in those. So for everyone asking, definitely you can go for Valks, or you can use Valk in Expo Cycle. But yeah, she put in a lot of work, and she helps a lot. I also won against Hog EQ down there, as you can see. And I also beat Mortar Earthquake, I believe, in this matchup as well, or in this GC as well. So yeah, that was a pretty nice 12-0 with Drupano Expo Cycle using the Valkyrie. So yeah, that was also my 75th GC, so getting up there for 100. As I said in the last video, I'm continuing my GC grind, so that's 4 in a row right now. Really nice feeling. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.